Sverige!
Hej! Heja Sverige! Heja! Yeah.
One, two, three, one. Yeah, sounds fine. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Just the other one didn't have any padding on the ear pad, so it was really hurting my ears. So, yeah, it sounds really good. Yeah, thanks.
Nej, men han kommer här. Tack. Ja.
To the United States in the round robin of last year's World Hockey Championship and haven't lost a game since. 15 wins in a row as they come in here at 8-0 in this World Hockey Championship. The United States coming off a quarterfinal win against the Czech Republic, since its first ever berth in the gold medal game since this playoff round began in 1992. The Swedes seek back-to-back World Championships for the first time since 91 and 92. And while this is not a home game for them, it might as well be. We're right next door in Copenhagen. So Keith Kincaid and Team USA taking on Sweden in the first of two semifinals on this Saturday in Copenhagen. Mika Zibanejad will face off against Colin White. Top line versus top line for these two. The Swedes of the home team have the last change, and Rikard Gronberg, their head coach, does chase the matchups. Adam Larsson feeds it ahead for Zibanejad. Zibanejad works and it shoots. Kincaid made the stop as Zibanejad went steaming through the crease. Now Zibanejad again with it. And it's picked off by Patrick Kane.
Colin White's in the middle of this first line for the United States. He got beat right in the middle of the ice. And Zibanejad took the puck all the way to the front of the net. Kincaid, who's been brilliant in this tournament, but for one game, made an outstanding stop on the first shot he faces.
Reconstituted lines for Team USA. Alex DeBrincat moves up to the top line. This is DeBrincat with it now. As Cam Atkinson goes down with Nick Bonino and Johnny Gaudreau. Drop pass for Patrick Hornquist, shoots. That was going wide. Backlund swings it back, and going back to pick it up is John Klingberg of the Dallas Stars. A very good Swedish defense, Ray, but one problem, they only listed 7 defensemen. One is hurt, Eric Gustafsson. If they lose another one, they'll have to play the rest of the tournament with 5 or fewer. Nick Jensen walks in now for the U.S. And Hampus Lindholm straightened him up. Anders Lee back on it. Lee got spun around. And back at the point is Pionk with a shot that was deflected by Chris Kreider. And play called at the Swedish line.
There's Zibanejad, who was quiet in the quarterfinal game, but has had an excellent tournament. You see Colin White following him. He's on the wrong side of the puck. This puck actually goes right through the legs of Kincaid. There's Zibanejad using his size and speed to beat White. This goes through Kincaid and hits the side of the net. The United States catch a little break. And then right off the first change, Rickard Gronberg, Sweden's coach, goes back to his top line.
Both these teams are 6-0 when they get the game's first goal. Swedes coming off a nail-biting 3-2 win over Latvia, a game in which they took the game's first 5 penalties. The United States beat the Czechs 3-2, as we mentioned. Bonino works it and shoots. Save made by Anders Nilsson. The rebound scooped up by Atkinson. And Nilsson stops that as well.
If there is a weak point for the Swedes, it's in goal. Anders Nilsson can be very good, but he does kick out some enormous rebounds, and he gave up 2 softies in the game against Latvia. Look at that rebound. It's enormous. 25 feet off the wrist shot, a rather pedestrian wrist shot from Nick Bonino. And Nilsson just punts this thing right out into the crease. If I'm on the USA bench, that's the first thing I say to my players. Take a look at the rebound. Let's get pucks at this guy's pads, because there'll be extra chances for us.
Magnus Pajärvi swings it in now for the Swedes. They lost Elias Pettersson, the Vancouver Canucks pick, to a broken thumb along with Eric Gustafsson. The United States minus Brian Gibbons, who broke his arm in the round robin of the tournament as well. Big jump by Pajärvi, back for Michael Wikstrand. The Swedish team is the youngest in the tournament, and also has 13 players who have never played the World Championship before. Coleman with a shot, Wikstrand deflects that up and out of play.
Like many teams in this tournament, the Swedes got a nice touch with the loss by the Nashville Predators in the first round, as we get a look at Patrick Kane. Kane, who's got 8 goals, just 1 behind Sebastian Aho for the tournament lead. He's got 11 assists, would tie him with Connor McDavid. He's got 6 straight multi-point games, 17 points in his last 6 games. And so they were hoping for an impact from Kane. Can't be much better than that. When he agreed to come, that changed the whole outlook for this USA hockey team.
The United States last won the gold medal in this competition in 1933. Did win Olympic gold, of course, in 1960 and 1980 when there was no World Championship in those years. Americans last won a medal in 2015, a bronze. And was chipped back to center ice. Oliver Ekman-Larsson ahead for Philip Forsberg across the line, but Patrick Hornqvist a half step ahead, and the play is called offside.
The supremely talented Forsberg had a goal in the quarterfinal win against Latvia. Anders Lee's got 40 goals in the tank from the Islanders this past year. He's got 3 goals in the tournament. And so interesting, this line that the U.S. gets out is Larkin and Kreider, fast and aggressive against Arvidsson, Forsberg, and Kempe. A very, very quick line for the Swedes.
Charlie McAvoy, who joined the U.S. lineup from the Boston Bruins, plays it across for Chris Kreider, who chips it in. Now Larkin goes after it. Larkin playing his 4th straight World Championship, kicks it back in front. Here's Will Butcher with it. Butcher along wrist shot, knocked down. Lee spins and shoots. He put that just wide. And now Forsberg back with it. Lead pass for Arvidsson missed. And back goes Butcher, icing called against the Swedes.
Really nice play by Will Butcher to create this last chance. He moves along the line. He uses his agility to find a lane to the front of the net. And he ends up finding Anders Lee in the slot for a scoring chance.
Sweden is 6-1 all-time in medal round meetings against the United States. The last was the bronze medal game in 2009. Off the draw, Hampus Lindholm tries to poke that ahead, knocked down to Bonino, loose in front. Nilsson makes the stop, and Bonino gets a second whack, and Nilsson freezes that.
I don't know if Bonino lost where the net was, or if he panicked on the puck. Look how much time he's got here. He's all by himself. He can take that to the front of the net. He shoveled it from almost an impossible angle. As John Klingberg falls down, look at Bonino's got room to take that right across the front of the net. I'm not real sure why he shot it from there, but Nilsson with the stop.
Now McAvoy shot, pinballs around in front. Nilsson kicked that away. Loose behind the goal is Bonino. For Gaudreau. Trying to return the pass. Zibanejad got in the way. Now fed back, and that shot fired wide by Atkinson. Cam Atkinson having a good tournament for Team USA with 7 goals in 8 games. And McAvoy swings back for it. Around for Butcher. Gaudreau, rink wide pass, trying to find Derek Ryan. Vikstrand comes back for it. Vikstrand, one of 3 Swedish players who played for them in the Olympic Games. And now poked ahead, picked up by Coleman. Blake Coleman drops it back for Derek Ryan. Matthias Ekholm turns and goes back for it. Ekholm across for Vikstrand. Up into Ricard Raquel. That long shot by Martinez knocked away by Nilsson. Kempe with it. Now knocked back to the American line. The lead pass for Ryan goes back to Adam Larsson. Up ahead for Arvidsson. In comes Arvidsson wanting across the line. Arvidsson in, shoots, and Kincaid with a pad save. Back at the point, played ahead by Ekman Larsson. Kempe tries to knock it down. And it's scooped up by Larkin. Dylan Larkin with a head of steam through center ice. Brings it back in front for Nick Jensen. Spins and shoots. Nilsson made the stop. Another long rebound. Almost picked up there by Kreider. Long shot by Neil Pionk goes wide. And here's Oliver Ekman Larsson. High off the glass and back to center. Kreider swings it back in. Anders Lee goes back for it. Magnus Pajärvi bangs it back ahead for Johan Larsson. And loose puck picked up by Quinn Hughes. Rink wide, he goes for Kane. In comes Patrick Kane. Drops it back. White in, shoots. Nilsson makes the stop. The rebound bounces back to Hughes. He shoots and it goes wide.
This has been a great start for the United States after that initial shot rush by Mika Zibanejad and a late or a rush in the last minute by Victor Arvidsson. The U.S. has controlled the play. There's the dash up the ice by Arvidsson. 29 goals this year in Nashville, and then Kane, look at the patience, hold the puck, find the late man. It's Colin White, and White snaps this off the right shoulder of Anders Nilsson.
Shots are 7-1 in favor of the United States here in the first period. Here they come again, Johnny Gaudreau. Playing in the World Championship for the 3rd time for Team USA. Lead pass for Atkinson, drops it back for Martinez, who jumps in. Alec Martinez brings it back in front. Benino's shot was blocked. Rebound, Gaudreau with a chance, and Nilsson comes across on him.
That's a brilliant save for Nilsson. Stretched all 6'5" out to make that one.
Just out Nyquist of the Detroit Red Wings tries to swing it back down to the referee's skate. Nyquist back with it. Drops it back off. Ekholm winds in. Matthias Ekholm loose behind the goal. A wraparound try poked away there by Benino. And now Backlund plays it back to Nyquist. Throws it back in front. Picked off by Benino. Sends it back to center ice. Intercepted by Nyquist, who flips it down. And that's swatted away by Kincaid. Larkin back out there. The game of cat and mouse continues between the two head coaches.
Too many Swedes on the ice.
And Larsson touches up.
It's too many Swedes.
And so the first power play of the game will go to Team USA. 13:04 to go here in the first.
Sweden bench minor penalty for too many men on the ice.
Royal Arena in Copenhagen, Denmark. No score between Sweden and the United States in the first of 2 semifinals today. Face-off won by Johan Larsson of the Buffalo Sabres. And played back down to the American zone where Keith Kincaid is back to pick it up for Charlie McAvoy.
The U.S. has 14 power play goals in the tournament. Patrick Kane's got 6.
Here comes Kane with it. Drops it back at the point for McAvoy. Back there along with the Brinket. McAvoy swings it rink wide for Kane. Kane sends it rink wide. Atkinson a quick shot at it, and Nilsson swatted that away. Now Kane back with it. Patrick Kane gets away from Ekman-Larsson. Throws it down to the Brinket. Back for Kane. Across to McAvoy. Back to Atkinson. McAvoy with a rolling puck, feeds it across. Atkinson shoots, hammered it wide. It goes back to Kane. Centers a tip right on. And Nilsson makes the save on the deflection by Anders Lane. Kane back with it. Walks it and shoots. That was blocked by Ekman-Larsson. Picked up by Jakob De La Rose and sent back down the ice. The United States Ray has split up Gaudreau and Kane in the power play from the early part of the tournament.
Move their units around a little bit, gives them different options, but really it gives them one playmaker, Kane and Gaudreau, on each unit. The two of them out there together, they seem to lose the shot in the mix.
The Army played that back out, and in comes Hughes with it, the 18-year-old freshman from the University of Michigan. Plays it back around. Gaudreau. Try to sweep that in deep. Ekholm sealed the wall. 25 seconds to go on the American power play. At the point is Butcher. Takes the return pass and swings it across. Hughes a centering pass, and that's swatted down the ice by Dennis Everberg. And now an icing call against Team USA on the power play that has 8 seconds left.
Couple of decent chances. Patrick Kane is going to look for Anders Lee here in front of the net. This actually goes off the stick of Johan Larsson. Kane's next shot is blocked by Ekman-Larsson. As the Swedes know they've got to front Kane, they've got to keep their sticks active because every puck is going over to Patrick Kane. They're going to wheel that power play through his hands every time.
2 shots on goal for Team USA. That power play remains a scoreless first period. And that pass misfired for Gaudreau. Icing called against the U.S.
There is Quinn Hughes, you mentioned. The freshman at the University of Michigan will be a high pick in the draft in about a month's time.
And then in a year's time, his younger brother Jack will do the same thing.
His brother Jack's going to be higher than wherever Quinn goes, unless he goes number 1, which he's not. His brother's going to be higher. Jack Hughes is a tremendous prospect, but there is all kinds of teams wondering about whether they'll be in the ballpark for Quinn Hughes if he's available when their team picks. He better be in the top 10 because he's going to be gone by then.
And the intriguing question would be the Detroit Red Wings, who have the number 6 pick of the draft. And their coach, Jeff Blashill, is here as the head coach of Team USA. Getting a close-up look at Hughes as Klingberg swings back for it. John Klingberg trailed only John Carlson of the Washington Capitals for points by D-men this year. Knocks that down, and Klingberg swings back. Now the puck goes off a stick, bounces right back to Kane. Swings it across. Connor Murphy walks in, shoots. That was blocked as well. Now Murphy digs it free. Out the other side it goes to Kane. A centering pass was blocked by Vikstrand. Can't find it in his equipment. And now Coleman a backhand shot stopped by Nilsson. Blake Coleman back with it. Shots 11-3 in favor of the United States. Still no score. Murphy across to Martinez. A long wrist shot. That deflected in front as well.
And now they've got Kane out on the 4th line with Ryan Coleman. He scored a goal last game in the quarters with this group.
Back at the point, helped by Murphy. A long wrist shot. That goes just wide. Martinez at the other point. To Kane. In comes Patrick Kane. Takes the return pass from Bonino. Kane drops it back to Martinez. Backhands it towards the goal. A bouncing puck. Sent back in front by Bonino. And they couldn't find Coleman with that. Now it's center ice. Here's Arvidsson. Arvidsson winds in, sends it back in front. All alone, a chance there for Janmark. And Kincaid got just a piece of that and knocks it up and out of play. 9:19 to go in the World Championship semifinal first period.
Two of the Swedes' best chances in this game have not hit officially the net. That last chance, Mattias Janmark hit the crossbar and went up over the glass. That's why the faceoff stays in. Remember, the Zibanejad shot on that initial rush of the game hit the side of the net. So the Swedes close a couple of times, but the U.S. has dominated the first 10.5 minutes of this game. Anders Nilsson has kept this game at 0-0. He's made 3 or 4 great stops.
Ekman Larsson goes back, plays it back across to Adam Larsson, who leads the Swedes in minutes played per game. Now back in comes Janmark, streaks it and shoots, and Kincaid gets that one and hangs on.
Out wide for the second time in the last couple of shifts. Janmark gets around the defense, this time McAvoy, and he ends up getting a scoring chance. Here he is the previous shift. You see Alex Martinez and Connor Murphy get so close together. That opens up a lane for Janmark coming off the bench. It hits the crossbar and bounces up into the crowd.
Butcher up ahead for Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau tries to center it, knocked down by Klingberg, feeds it ahead for Patrick Hornquist. And Hornquist slides it ahead for Nyquist. Backlund swinging at it. Backlund. The Calgary Flames had it knocked down for a moment by Benito. And that was centering pass is picked off by Atkinson for Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau. Down to Benito, finds some room down low. Benito off the bench. Jensen a shot. Nilsson makes the save. The rebound bounced away again. Jensen works in. Centering pass ticked away by Lindholm. Right in the stick of Gaudreau. Couldn't get a shot away. And now Nyquist has it back. And down in the American zone, icing called against Team Sweden.
There hasn't been very many times where the U.S. hasn't had the puck in the offensive zone shift to shift. Patrick Hornquist makes a really good defensive play. Look how he leads with his stick. There's nowhere for Gaudreau to shoot the puck. Ekholm takes it. He ends up icing it, but a solid play by Hornquist.
The word that teammates use about him is relentless.
Oh my gosh, he would be such a pain in the rear end to play against. He's strong, he never quits. He's just a powerful player.
Now chips it down to the USA zone.
Think of his Stanley Cup winning goal last year. He's behind the net. He outmuscles a couple of players for the puck and banks it in off Pekka Rinne, and turns out to be the goal that clinched the cup for them.
Fed back at the point by Kane for Jensen. Nick Jensen works in, drops it off to Kane. Kane shoots, Nilsson save, and he quickly grabs the rebound with DeBrincat looking for the loose puck.
What the U.S. is seeing is the good Anders Nilsson, the one that the Vancouver Canucks saw sporadically this past year. And this is the one that uses his size, is able to stop the puck, uses frame to keep it in front of him. The problem is, he's so inconsistent. At times the puck goes right through him, and we've also seen, I don't know, 4 or 5 already rebounds that are 15 feet off of his pads.
Face off not done fairly. Larkin is shown out. 7:32 to go here in the opening period.
In the quarterfinal, Nilsson made 6 or 7 really good stops against Latvia, and then he gave up 2 rather poor goals, and the game was close because of it.
A floater from the blue line that allowed Latvia to draw back within 1. Ekholm chips it there for Johan Larsson. Knocked in by Delarose. And Martinez, a quick pass there for Larkin. Larkin snaps it across for Lee. And Anders Lee chips it in for Chris Kreider. And Kreider wins that battle for the puck. Slides it across to Murphy. Connor Murphy playing his 5th straight World Championship for Team USA. Down to Kreider. Has some time, centers it, and got by Lee and back down the ice. And all of a sudden, what was a very noisy pro-Swedish crowd is a little tepid here late in the first period.
They were like this a lot against Latvia, too. It's a team with such high promise that won their pool in the preliminary round, had a tough time against Latvia, and they've certainly not had much here.
Now Raquel works in. Ricard Raquel crisscrosses it with Zibanejad. They got a broken stick for Team USA. Coleman has no stick. Adam Larsson can't hold the line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Zibanejad. Mika Zibanejad swings it back in front. The pass too high for Janmark. And Derek Ryan tries to knock it down. Janmark back in the corner for Zibanejad. His centering pass goes off his stick, held by Ekman Larsson. And Zibanejad swings it around for Janmark. Janmark, a centering pass. Ekman Larsson moves in. Raquel back on it, has a quick look. Banks it down to Zibanejad. He works loose. Got to center it, blocked by Martinez. Raquel back with it. He falls. And Philip Forsberg goes to it. Got it there by Kane. Forsberg pokes it ahead. Ryan to Kane. And now in the middle of a line change, Gaudreau has it back for Team USA. Ball's in the corner. And goes back to McAvoy. As with the arena in Herning, Denmark, this is not a hockey rink. Normally, ice was put in here for the first time this year. De La Rose for Arvidsson. Drops for Forsberg, a long shot. Kincaid makes the step in and score! Arvidsson pumps it home, and Sweden takes a 1-0 lead.
Arvidsson scored a beauty in the quarterfinals. He bunted a pass knee-high out of the air. The Swedes swim all over the zone. De La Rose goes to the front of the net. He's there with Jensen, and the long shot by Forsberg is not handled cleanly by Keith Kincaid. De La Rose actually pushes the rebound and it goes through his feet. And Arvidsson pops through to the other side, slams it into the empty net. And the Swedes withstand a 15-minute barrage by the United States. And Arvidsson gives them a 1-0 lead.
On their 5th shot of the period, to 14 for Team USA. So as you said, Ray, not always a work of art for Anders Nilsson, but he hangs in there.
Well, the U.S. deserves a better fate than this 1-0 score right now, but now they got to fight themselves back into the game, continue to do what they've done without chasing the game recklessly here. Far too much time left.
Swedes are 6-0 when they score first. Nifty move there, brought ahead by Atkinson. He's got Lee with him. Cam Atkinson shoots. Nilsson makes the stop. The rebound drops down. Backlund picks it up. And the Swedish net is knocked off. Arvidsson the goal. Sweden a 1-0 lead. Face-off outside the Swedish blue line with the United States trailing 1-0 despite having a wide edge in play here in the opening period. But that man, Victor Arvidsson, has the Swedes ahead.
When you talk about contracts that might prove to be value for the team, Victor Arvidsson at $4 million, 29 goals this year. He's proving to be a dynamic offensive player. The Preds got him for 6 years at $4 million.
Signed through 2024. Larsson reaching for it, centered back in front. The shot bounces off the stick of Colin White. Back the other way is Arvidsson again. In behind Hughes, Arvidsson in, shoots, and Kincaid makes a huge save there.
Critical stop for Keith Kincaid.
Forsberg drops it back. Ekman Larsson swings it back around to Adam Larsson. Now Larsson battles there with Hughes. McAvoy tried to knock it around. Hughes fell, swept to the sideboards. Kane waiting for it. That chip picked up by DeBrincat, now deflected, and the puck goes into the Swedish bench. 3:37 to go here in the first.
Good stick by Larson, and Forsberg flips this out for Arvidsson to chase onto it. And he's going to get in clean. Paddle down for Kincaid to make the stop. Quinn Hughes is an outstanding skater. He had to turn, and he couldn't catch Arvidsson, which is probably a pretty good indication of how quick Arvidsson is onto the puck. What a little play. You think those guys have seen that before in Nashville. Forsberg got it, and Arvidsson just takes off. He flips it up over top of everybody, and he gets to the puck.
Now Larkin back with it. Dylan Larkin. Back for Martinez. That shot footed off his stick. And Ekholm has it back. Matthias Ekholm snaps it down. Kincaid across to Martinez. And here is Murphy with it. Up for Lee. Across to Kreiner, who chips it in. And Klingberg swings back to pick it up. And quickly the Swedes counterattack. Klingberg. Yarvi's chip in, knocked down by Murphy. They'll call this a hand pass against Team USA.
Arvidsson came late to the tournament when the Predators were eliminated. You see him start the rush and then fish around the front of the net. He gets back to the crease to find the loose puck after Delarose poked it through the legs of Kincaid. Spent a good part of the early portion of the game talking about the rebounds of Anders Nilsson, and it was a Kincaid rebound on a longest shot that provided the opportunity for Sweden to jump into a 1-0 lead.
Now Gaudreau chips it ahead, taken down by Johan Larsson, centers it, and McAvoy knocked it down and stepped on the puck. Adrian Kempe has it back. At the point for Lindholm, and now a penalty coming. It's going to be a tripping call, I believe, against the American goaltender, Keith Kincaid. So a player on the ice is going to have to serve it.
Swedish power play is dangerous. 9 goals in the tournament. It's not a good penalty for Kincaid to take. You're down 1-0. Now you put your guys in a spot here. 5-on-4 power play. The Swedish power play
minor penalty, tripping.
Has all kinds of dangerous weapons on it. You're going to get Hornquist, who's going to be a bother in front of the net. You've got Forsberg and Klingberg at the top. Arvidsson and Backlund finish the 5. That's a pretty good group.
Sweden 10 for 26 on the power play. As the draw squirts free to Murphy. And now Forsberg can't hold the line. Brought in by Derek Ryan, who has a short-handed goal. Sends it, gets it right back. Ryan moves it and shoots. Another chance. Nelson knocks that down. Ryan trying to dig it free. Klingberg gets into it with Derek Ryan, who almost tied the game.
Ryan just stays with this puck after he fans on it once. He's going to stay with it. It bounces on Klingberg, and now Ryan is going to get to the puck. Pass blocked, fanned on it. Second one, fanned on it. Third one, gets it to the net. And Nilsson, who's following it in his butterfly, makes the stop as Forsberg slides by him, and Nilsson just gets the top of his glove on it.
That didn't miss by much. Now the point shot, Martinez! And Nilsson gets just a piece of that to knock it wide. So 2 good shorthanded chances here for Team USA. 2 to go in the period. Klingberg swings it back to Backlund. Ahead for Arvidsson. Arvidsson bumped there by Murphy. And Martinez shovels it back down the ice. Forsberg ahead for Hornquist. Aiden shoots. And Ryan got a stick on that. American penalty killing has allowed 5 goals on 30 chances. Here is Klingberg. With a minute to go in the Swedish power play, Kempe had it knocked away. Ekman Larsson back with it. And no shortage of options for power play quarterbacks for the Swedes, Ray.
No, this is such a dynamic group. You can be a really smart coach with this many guys that you can put out at the top end of your roster.
Raquel's shot was stopped when Larsson sends it back in. Now knocked down by Nyquist for Raquel. Kempe back for Nyquist. Swings it back for Zibanejad. Nyquist centers it, knocked away from Raquel. Zibanejad holds it. 20 seconds to go on the Swedish power play. Ekman Larsson for Zibanejad. In shoots. And Kincaid got just a piece of that. Faceoff's going to come outside as they say Raquel tipped it.
There's that last chance. The Swedes go to sleep off the draw, and Coleman walks through clean in front of Anders Nilsson. He tries to corral this puck. It gets him tight between the stick and skates. He can't control it. Otherwise, he's all alone in front of the Swedish goaltender.
There's 17 seconds left in the power play. 44 seconds to go in the period. Bonino wins that draw forward and back down in the Swedish zone. De La Rose. Cross to Ekman Larsson for Klingberg. In for De La Rose, who plays on around. And now Gaudreau comes back on after serving the penalty for Kincaid. Murphy pokes it back down in the Swedish zone. Turning is Klingberg. And icing with 13.5 seconds left here in the first period.
Klingberg did everything but walk into the parking lot when he went back for that. He turned the wrong way twice, and they still gave him the icing. So a late face-off in the U.S. zone.
And Jeff Blashill giving it to the linesman. Both linesmen are Canadian, by the way, Dustin McCrank and Nathan Van Oosten. Off the drop, sent back down by Coleman.
Now that's an icing. So now they got to do it again. Zibanejad is really strong on the draw. He gets underneath your stick, but he's a big, heavy guy at about 225 pounds. It's tough to outmuscle him. Bonino's going to have to be quick on the draw here.
Career high 27 goals this year for Zibanejad with the New York Rangers. He gets tossed in the face-off circle. And Raquel wins it cleanly back. Klingberg banks it around for Zibanejad. It bounced off his stick. Gaudreau to the line and out. And the Swedes will go to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead on the United States thanks to the first period goal by Victor Arvidsson. Our first intermission coming up on semifinal Saturday for the 2018 World Hockey Championship.
Shots on goal after the first period. Team Sweden 8, Team USA 16. The goal in first period scored by Team Sweden is scored by player number 33, Victor Arvidsson.
here, 1-0 on the scoreboard for Sweden after 1 period of play. Walk me through your goal there.
No, De La Rose did a great job driving the middle, kicked it out to me, and I found Phil in a soft spot, and he took the shot. And I usually go to the net when he has the puck, so it squirted out behind him, and I managed to put it in.
Despite being outshot, you guys still have the lead. Has it taken a while for the team to get comfortable out there?
I don't know. We gotta play better. We had a rough period 2 nights ago against Latvia too in the first, and we gotta come out skating in the second. I think we picked our game up in the last 10 minutes, so it was good.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Anders Nilsson comes into the tournament number 2 in save percentage in the event. At 9:43, and he gets called upon to stop 16 shots rather in the first period by Team USA. Mika Zibanejad with that opening dash in the first few seconds was a big part of the Swedish attack. A 1-0 lead for Sweden after the opening 20 minutes.
The strength of the Swedes is their blue line, yet the U.S. had 16 shots. They pushed and pressured, and I don't think the Swedes reacted very well.
Charlie McAvoy moves his way ahead, and it's bounced ahead by Chris Kreider, knocked down by Adam Larsson. Swiped in by Zibanejad, it bounces right back in front. And picked up by Will Butcher, the terrific rookie for the New Jersey Devils. Now it's turned over. Janmark walks in, loose puck swatted away by Larkin. Butcher was a draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche, who elected not to sign him after his first 3 years in college. He became a free agent after his 4th year and signed with New Jersey. Arvidsson swings it around. And now Larkin back with it. Banks back down in the Swedish zone. Here's Klingberg back after it. Anders Lee knocks it down. And Lindholm goes back to pick it up. Murphy lays it back in. Gloved down by Klingberg. And it's chipped ahead by Delarose. Jakob Delarose of the Montreal Canadiens. Slams into Connor Murphy. And now Murphy has it back. Brings it around for DeBrincat. Up for White, back to Alex DeBrincat. 28 goals this year as a rookie for Chicago. And that doesn't get you a sniff as a finalist for the Rookie of the Year award.
Not this year. What a group in front of them.
Actually, the last couple of years, really, when you think about it, the Matthews Lyon a year as well. A number of great rookies last season. DeBrincat swings it rink wide for Kane. After Kane slides out ahead for DeBrincat. Shoots and fires that wide out of the reach of Nick Jensen, who moved into the blue line. And now Nyquist has it back. Gustav Nyquist to the Red Wings. Works in and shoots. It was disrupted by Bonino. Now Nick Bonino back the other way. Slides it ahead for Atkinson. Atkinson had Pionk driving. Couldn't get the puck to sit for him. Now tapped around by Bonino for Pionk. The defenseman's moved in. Slides that rink wide for Gaudreau. Back for Atkinson, along wrist shot. That goes just wide. Picked up Bonino. To get the backhand shot away. Hornquist has it back now for Sweden. Nick Jensen up for Gaudreau. That gets away from Ekholm. And now Gaudreau works in. Taken in hard by Ekholm. Backlund plays it up. Chipped ahead for Janmark. Knocked down by Ryan. Ahead for Atkinson. He finds Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau for Atkinson. Tees it up and shoots. Nilsson makes the stop, and the rebound cleared up by Michael Vikstrand. Murphy winds his way in. Plays it around for Kane. Martinez slides that back, and Connor Murphy has to retreat, being trailed there by Raquel. Zibanejad chips it back down to the American zone. Martinez, a lead pass for Ryan, missed. Ekholm goes back, icing called against the United States.
A good start for the U.S. A couple scoring chances. Cam Atkinson's going to get one here off the give and go with Johnny Gaudreau. He finds Gaudreau in the middle, and then he's going to open up out on the left side. He gets lots on this. Look at the rebound again. There is nothing that sticks to Anders Nilsson. The United States has to continue to shoot the puck, and they have to get to the net. The puck is there. They have to get there too.
Murphy up for Kane.
Here's Kane out with that fourth line as they double shift him.
Yeah, Kane slides it and shoots. That goes off a leg and wide. Picked up now by McAvoy. He was taken down, and the center ice official is going to make the call. So Sweden will get a high sticking penalty here for at least 2 minutes. We'll see how badly McAvoy is hurt.
What's interesting about this is the official behind the net was about 5 feet away, and he was looking right at the play. He didn't call it. The one from outside the blue line does. Look, he's looking right at it. And McAvoy lifts Adam Larsson's stick into his own face, and I believe this is a 4-minute penalty.
But Larsson's going off as well, right? So Larsson goes.
Well, Larsson has the penalty. But McAvoy lifted his stick. So in any case, Charlie McAvoy's nicked. He's got a bloody nose, it looks like, and so the U.S. will get what is essentially their second and third power play here.
A double minor to Larsson. So here's the chance for Team USA. 14 for 35 on the power play coming in, as you mentioned. 6 power play goals for Patrick Kane, the runaway leader in that department. Gaudreau back out there now. Johnny Gaudreau spins back for Butcher. Butcher across the Hughes, a quick shot. Nilsson makes the stop. The rebound squirts out to Kreider. Kreider back for Butcher. Cross he goes to Gaudreau. Butcher steps into that shot. It goes wide. Rebound. And that's flipped wide by Kreider. And the rebound sent down the ice. Beckman Larsson, who was spilled. I didn't like that.
The Swedes' defense gives them the benefit of having NHL players on the blue line as they kill a long penalty here. Lindholm and Klingberg come out now.
So the Swedes have allowed 4 opposition power play goals on 28 attempts so far. As Everberg comes in, backhands out off the outside of the post. Everberg basically only plays right on the penalty kill.
They almost scored, so he knows his role. He knocked Atkinson, who was trying to outweight him. He knocked him off the puck and then had a chance as he drove the net.
Elias Anderson, the New York Ranger first-round pick, no shifts in that first period, nor for Sonny Milano for Team USA.
How many times have you said rebound? Well, here's another one. This one's off the end boards, though, as Chris Kreider chips this wide. It's a wide open net, and Kreider shanks it. Here's Atkinson. He's trying to outweight Everberg, who just throws him down, and his shot hits the left shoulder of Keith Kincaid and bounces up over the net.
Now McAvoy back for it. 2.5 to go in this double minor to Adam Larsson. DeBrincat for Atkinson. Across to Kane. Kane drops it back for McAvoy. The U.S. gets set up as DeBrincat has it. Banks it down to Kane. McAvoy chips it down to Kane. It's bumped there by Ekman-Larsson. Now Kane back with it. Centers it down for DeBrincat. Back to McAvoy. Across he goes. Atkinson to Kane. Walks in. Shoots. Nilsson makes the stop, and this time there's no rebound. First minor penalty to Adam Larsson is over.
Couple of puck battles the U.S. wins, one by McAvoy, one by DeBrincat, and they're able to get this puck over to Patrick Kane. Really good work in the middle there. That's a phone booth where DeBrincat's working in. He's got pressure from the left and the right. They move it around, and Kane has a chance to shoot it. Nilsson's able to make the save, and more importantly, as he makes it, he holds on to it so the Swedes can get a change as well.
Nilsson, a veteran of 5 NHL seasons with 4 teams, the Islanders, Edmonton, Buffalo, and now Vancouver. He signed a series of 1-year deals of late. So managed to get a 2-year contract out of Vancouver to be the backup. And here's Butcher with it. Will Butcher swings back. 9 assists in his first 6 National Hockey League games for New Jersey. Gaudreau swings it across. Kreider shoots, tipped in front. As Larkin got a stick on that. Gaudreau back with it. Larkin spins it back for Gaudreau. At the point is Butcher across. He goes. Hughes. This time the one-timer. And now Kreider spins it back. Holding the line is Butcher. Down to Hughes. Centering pass, tip right on. As Larkin got a stick on that, and Nilsson kicked it away.
Well, this doesn't look like the same goalie from the other day. Nilsson has made a half a dozen really difficult saves here in the first 27 minutes of this one.
40 seconds to go on the American power play. A double minor to Adam Larsson of Sweden. DeBrincat trying to move it ahead. It's picked off. In comes Michael Backlund. Short-handed. Backlund in. Poke check by Kincaid. A penalty coming. Score! Magnus Pajärvi pokes it home. It's a short-handed goal. 2-0 Sweden. It looked like a penalty shot might be coming for the Swedes, but Magnus Pajärvi slides it in, and it's 2-0.
What a play by Michael Backlund to turn this puck over. He doesn't notice here as DeBrincat tries to move the puck. He turns it over. He doesn't notice Pajärvi's with him. I thought he was going to drop it here. McAvoy pulls him down. Oh, what a save by Kincaid with the left foot to keep the puck away. Here's the penalty. Watch Kincaid make the initial save right there, but Pajärvi stays with it and tucks it in between Kincaid and Kane, and a 2-0 Swedish lead on the shorthanded goal.
Backlund was looking up to the official to see if it was going to be a penalty shot, and Pajärvi stayed in the puck. And Magnus Pajärvi's got his third of this World Championship. And the Swedes have scored their first shorthanded goal of the World Championship. The Americans have allowed their first, and it's a big one.
You often get told when you go over the blue line, don't pull up within 5 feet of the blue line because there's nowhere to go with the puck. DeBrincat had the puck in that zone, probably has to go deep with it. And as he turns, he gets pushed off it, and that leads to Backlund racing out of the zone.
The United States had 3 shots on goal in that 4-minute power play. So did Sweden.
Remember, Everberg almost scored in the first minute. He had that shot Kincaid made a nice stop on. But still, if you're the U.S., you cannot panic here and turn this into a crazy disadvantage here. They're down a couple. Keep it there.
In, shoots. Nilsson stop. Rebound. Loose in front. Coleman poking at it. And finally, Nilsson gets a hold of that. And he'll hang on. 2-0 Sweden leads on the shorthanded goal by Magnus Pajärvi. Moments after giving up a shorthanded goal, Team USA comes close. Anders Nilsson gets most of it, and then John Klingberg swept the puck off the goal line right before that timeout.
As I was saying, though, there's no need to change your game. They've dominated most of the game. It doesn't matter. They're down 2-0. But have heart that you're doing the right thing here. Get the puck back to the net. Get to the net. Chase the rebounds. But don't give up a third one while you're doing it.
Tap back by Bonino for Martinez. Alec Martinez to Murphy. Lead pass chipped in by Goodrow. And back goes Ekholm for it. Adam Larsson snaps it ahead for Matthias Janmark, who returned to the NHL this season after missing all of last year. That's chipped away by Kincaid. A career-threatening knee condition for Matthias Janmark, known as osteochondritis dissecans. Basically, the top of his fibula was decaying, and they had to rebuild it. Goodrow winds in. Americans are changing as Goodrow comes in and shoots. That was blocked by Lindholm, as Pionk swings back to pick it up.
Oh, what a stupid penalty Goodrow took.
Just slashed Hampus Lindholm from behind in retaliation, and now the Swedes are going to the power play with 10:49 left in the second period.
No other way to call it. Stupid, undisciplined. He's put his team in a major hole here. He didn't like getting hit, and he took a baseball swing at Hampus Lindholm. Watch him on the bottom of your screen. What's he doing? Like, seriously. Stupid penalty to a player that's been frustrated the entire tournament. Here's the chance earlier by Nick Bonino. This puck's gonna squeak through. You see the US searching for it. They don't know where it is, but they know he doesn't have it. Look at this. Oh, that close to a 2-1 game. And now the Swedes, who have a shorthanded goal, have a chance to take a stranglehold with their power play. Their second opportunity.
Power play goals for the Swedes coming in, led by Zibanejad, who has 2. The goal scoring really spread out for the Swedes. 18 different players have scored. Now Forsberg shoots it, pinballs around in front, picked up by Ryan. A very deep Swedish team, good on defense. 3 deep at forward, 3 lines deep, that is. Klingberg back for Backlund, the Swedish captain. Klingberg's long shot, knocked down by Martinez, sweeps it ahead and back down in the Swedish zone.
Alex Martinez is one of those guys that gets 0 headline, nothing. He's just solid. 23 minutes a game, plays both sides, kills penalties. He's on your second power play. Cup winner with the cup winning goal in overtime for LA. Just a really, really good player. Cleared that last one down the ice.
Backlund across to Forsberg. Philip Forsberg swings it back to Klingberg. Drifts it back in front, score! Hornquist, power play goal, 3-0 Sweden.
Gord, I don't know why it is, but when you take a bad, undisciplined penalty, it seems you always get stung. I'm not real sure why it is, it just seems that way. Look at the puck movement. Sideboards to Klingberg. He goes through the seam to Backlund. Backlund reverses it so quickly, and before Coleman can get back there, Patrick Hornquist, the last player taken in the 2005 NHL draft, scores on the power play where he's been a beast in his career.
When he played for Nashville, then coach Barry Trotz showed him tapes of Thomas Holmstrom of the Red Wings and said, play like that. In comes Janmark now. Janmark sweeps and scores! And the roof caving in now on Team USA. Janmark makes it 4-0.
"11 seconds after Patrick Hornquist makes it 3-0, Matthias Janmark, who's had an outstanding tournament, makes it 4-0. Turnover at the blue line, and Janmark gets out into the open ice and gets around Charlie McAvoy. 2 of the 4 goals have been turnovers just inside the offensive blue line. And Matthias Janmark, strong move, and slides this underneath the right pad of Keith Kincaid.
And now, Team USA head coach Jeff Blashill calls timeout.
Timeout, Team USA.
Look at the yellow jerseys.
It's funny, Blashill just pointed down at Anders Nilsson when he was talking to his team.
I'm no lip reader, but I hope, or I would assume the message is, get the puck on him. There are extras there. The U.S. has to look at this, Gord. If they can get a couple by the end of the period, in the 10 minutes left, then you got a chance. You can't go into the third period chasing a 4-goal lead. They need something to happen, and it needs to happen pretty quickly.
The shots are 21-14 in favor of the United States, which trails 4-0. Hard to blame Kincaid. Breakaways, power play goals.
So look at in this period, a couple of turnovers, 5 feet inside the blue line led to 2 breakaways. A terrible undisciplined penalty by Johnny Gaudreau leads to a power play goal. It just came apart so quickly for the U.S. Now they've got an enormous mountain in front of them.
3 goals in just over 3 minutes for the Swedes. Here they come again. Arvidsson winds in, loose puck that's poked away. by Jensen. Larson is shot, and Kincaid got a piece of that. And a penalty coming now.
It's going to be on Arvidsson.
Yeah, goalie interference, I believe, will be the call. And so the United States, down 4, will go to the power play.
Sweden, number 33, minor penalty for goalie interference.
Well, the United States has had its chances. An early power play in the first period, a 4-minute power play here in the second. And they give up a shorthanded goal. The Swedes have broken it open here 4-0, but Team USA is back on the power play with Arvidsson off for goalie interference.
Lord, this is one of the 2 in 10 minutes. You get one here, now you got 8 minutes to try and get another one.
McAvoy to DeBrincat for Kane. Patrick Kane down to the goal line for Anders Lee. Going to play it back across for Atkinson. Kept alive by DeBrincat, and now Larson slides it down the ice.
It's a strong play for Adam Larson. He didn't get the first one out, but he followed it up. And as DeBrincat couldn't roll it down, Larson's able to clear.
Everberg back out there for the Swedes on the penalty kill. Almost like a relief pitcher for the Swedes.
Play 4 or 5 minutes a night, race around on the penalty kill.
Everberg slides that down. It goes off the glass into the meshing. And the face-off will stay in the Swedish zone. They'll say the deflect, I think. No, they're talking about it now. It will be in the Swedish zone. The Swedes are arguing, but
what a disappointing period here for the United States. 3 goals on 6 shots, 2 breakaways, and a 10-footer for Patrick Hornquist. And quickly, they're chasing a game that, by all intents and purposes, they've been the better team. I think they played pretty well for most of the game. You look at the scoreboard and it can't possibly be. It's 4-0.
Kincaid leaves it there for Butcher. Under a minute to go in the power play. Gaudreau. And that pass broken up by Backlund. And now Butcher back with it. Michael Backlund, one of the best defensive forwards in the National Hockey League. Brought in by Butcher now. To Larkin. Larkin gets his own pass back, swings it back across. Gaudreau slides it down to Kreider, bouncing puck, and Nilsson just hangs on to that.
I think Kreider tries to backheel pass this across the front of the net. The pass was off a little bit, and it's in his feet. Watch him down in front of the net. Oh yeah, he tries to kick that right across the front of the net to Patrick Kane. It hits the foot of Lindholm. Pretty decent try, I'd say. Lindholm able to corral it, knock it back towards his goaltender.
Johan Larsson has it back now for the Swedes. Fires that wide of the goal. Gaudreau picks it up. He turns it over to Jakob De La Rose. Now brought ahead by Kane. Patrick Kane. Swings it down to Kreider. A centering pass poked away by Larson. And De La Rose sweeps it back to center ice. Gaudreau. Knocked over by Johan Larsson. And Arvidsson is back on the ice.
Really no danger there for the U.S. on that power play.
2 shots. It remains 4-0, 7 to go here in the second period. And now Pionk goes back to pick it up. Ryan Pivots back in the corner, swings it back at the point. Martinez, a long shot, flutters high and wide. Eric Ryan loose in the corner with it now. Feeds it back to Pionk. Back for Ryan, a long shot, goes off the leg of Matthias Ekholm and wide. Now a centering pass for Ryan. Off his stick, Janmark has it back. Martinez, the lone man back. Janmark winds in. But to throw it back in front, Kincaid knocked that away. The lead pass goes to White. He's knocked out at center ice by Lindholm. And now the puck bounces over the glass and out with 6:09 to go in the period.
It's been a long tournament for Gaudreau. Here's that penalty again as he takes a baseball swing to Hampus Lindholm, and while he's in the penalty box, gorgeous puck work. Klingberg, Backlund, Patrick Hornquist, and then 11 seconds later, Matthias Janmark takes the Ricard Raquel pass, beats Charlie McAvoy to the net, and slides it underneath Keith Kincaid. 3 minutes and 7 seconds. The Swedes score 3 goals to take a 1-0 lead and make it a 4-0 lead.
When you think about it, it's 2-0. Bonino almost sneaks one in. You're back in the game, and then boom. Backlund moves in, trying to poke it around for Hornquist. Now Backlund has to swing back and pick up his glove as Hughes slides in. Hughes got bumped there by Adam Larson. Now DeBrincat tries to chip it back, picked up by Hornquist, ahead for Nyquist. Gustav Nyquist walks it and shoots off the stick of Butcher and wide.
Gord, you were telling the story about how they told Patrick Hornquist to watch Thomas Holmstrom. As soon as he got the puck in the middle of the ice, he gave it to someone else. That was very much like Thomas Holmstrom.
And the total distance of Thomas Holmstrom's National Hockey League goals might not go around the rink.
No, he'd slam away at him, but man, he was good at retrieving the puck, screening the goalie. That power play had him in the middle of it.
Picked up now by Kreider, spins and shoots. Loose in front for Atkinson, and Arvidsson has it back.
All that skill and grace, and then Thomas Holmstrom in the middle of it. They used to joke that they all would have scored more goals, but he blocked too many of their shots in front of the net when he was screening the goaltender.
And kind of the same thing with Hornquist in Pittsburgh. Trickles down, and Nilsson sweeps that away. And the work of Anders Nilsson should not be overlooked in the early part of this game for Team Sweden.
Yeah, the first period in particular, he was outstanding. Faced 16 shots, stopped them all. The Swedes got a goal on a puck that trickled through Kincaid. Arvidsson put it into the empty net. But it was Nilsson who kept them in while they kind of found their feet, because the U.S. was much quicker in the first part of the game.
McAvoy ahead for Atkinson. That pass broken up by Janmark. Now Atkinson swings it back across, but it bounces away from Ryan. Ekman Larson pokes around Raquel, muscled off the puck by Bonino, throws it back for Pionk, walks in and shoots. It goes off a skate as Raquel got in the way. And now Raquel threads that pass ahead for Adam Larson of the Edmonton Oilers. Goes in after his own shoot-in. And now Bonino picks up the loose puck. Americans break out 4 wide. Bonino winds in, shoots off the side of the goal. Picked up by Hornquist. Now loose for Gaudreau. Centers it, Nilsson down, rebound, and he can wait for it. Gaudreau gets wrestled down by Larson. The puck came free. But referee Oliver Guav, Canada, had blown it dead. It remains 4-0 in favor of Sweden. 3:16 to go in the first of 2 semifinals here in Copenhagen today. Later on, Canada will take on Switzerland for the second berth in the gold medal game tomorrow night here in Copenhagen. A terrific World Championship staged by the Danes, who are playing host to this tournament for the first time in their nation's history.
Not any misses, really. They were organized. The arenas were really nice. They were better than really nice. The games were well attended.
These are not hockey rinks, as we mentioned, but they look and feel like them.
Both more concert venues, I would say, is the first.
And handball.
Yeah, the first function for them.
As Nyquist picks it up. Gustav Nyquist. Plays it in for Hornquist. Picked out now by Backlund. Drops it back for Lindholm. Hampus Lindholm. Slaps it around for Nyquist. By the way, the best save percentage in the tournament belongs right now to Frederik Andersen of Denmark. They lost 1-0 in their last round robin game to Latvia. The Latvians took an early lead and just choked the game to death. And Denmark came that close, though, to getting a quarterfinal spot. Now Lindholm works in. Centering pass goes through the crease. Arvidsson back on it. Adam Larsson. Brings it back behind the goal. Butcher goes back to pick it up. And Philip Forsberg swings back in the corner. A centering pass for Delarose. Shoots. He fired that wide. And Forsberg pokes it free. Philip Forsberg back on it. Plays it across to Ekman Larsson in, shoots at the skate of Murphy. Forsberg banks it around for Ekman Larsson. Maybe a quiet summer for Ekman Larsson, but man, it's going to be a noisy season for him. He's not dealt by Arizona, a pending unrestricted free agent in July of 2019. Back come the Swedes. It's Forsberg along with Delarose. Forsberg slides in for Arvidsson. A good job to kick that ahead. Now Arvidsson back with it. Drops it back to Ekman Larsson, and he can't hold the line. It's hard to remember a defenseman of his caliber becoming unrestricted. You might have to go back to Scott Niedermayer over a decade ago. Only Brent Burns has more goals as a defenseman over the last 5 years than Ekman Larsson.
I can't think of anybody else that might be in the ballpark of that quality of player.
At least not to change teams.
Right.
Janmark back across to Raquel in, shoots. Kincaid makes the save on that. Janmark sends it back in front. Bouncing puck picked up by Kane. And Patrick Kane moves ahead with Coleman and Ryan. Coleman tried to play it back across. Lindholm broke that up. And now Martinez back on it. Kane drops it back for McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy sends it back in front. I'm trying to think of an NHL team that wouldn't trade their defense for this Swedish defense. Maybe Nashville with Jussi Ellis Subban Ekholm, but this is world class.
This is you get into this type of deficit against this defense.
Now Kane shoots, that goes wide. The final seconds out. Sharp angle shot was blocked off the stick of Pionk.
That was a critical 10 minutes for the Swedes after building the 4-0 lead. They didn't give anything up. They go into the third period in good shape.
3 goals for the Swedes in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. It's a 4-0 lead after 2.
In your own language. The 2018 IIHF app, powered by Skoda. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play. Skoda. C'est future.
starka boys, vi är starka!
Right away.
Anders Nilsson has stopped every shot he's faced so far, 21 of them by the United States. And Keith Kincaid's been victimized by breakaways, power play goals, shorthanded goals, you name it. Matthias Janmark with the real backbreaker in that second period, scoring 11 seconds after Patrick Hornqvist made it 3-0 in favor of the Swedes. John Klingberg has played 2.5 more minutes than any other Swedish skater so far this afternoon. Plays in all situations for them. A 5th-round pick of the Dallas Stars.
You were talking about the Swedes only having 6 defensemen available. The one thing they do have is 4 of them are used to playing gigantic minutes.
Right.
And they don't have to do that, in particular with a 4-0 lead.
It's funny how well Dallas has done in the 5th round. They got Jamie Benn in that round and John Klingberg. That's 2 pretty good places to start.
Isn't that something? Like two cornerstone players for their franchise.
Backlund plays it around. Picked up by McAvoy. Halfway through the game rate, the United States was doing everything right. Out shooting the Swedes badly, good chances. Got a 4-minute power play, then the roof fell in.
And 3 minutes later, the game was almost out of hand. Well, it seems like it's out of hand right now.
Nyquist plays it back for Hornquist, missing that one-time chance. And now Backlund shoots, it goes wide. Here's McAvoy back on it. And now McAvoy back with it. The Swedes played with 18 skaters for their first 5 games. As Larkin moves in, shoots, that's knocked away by Nilsson. That's 18 skaters listed. So a full 4 short of the total amount they could have. Then added 4 guys after Nashville got knocked out. They got Hornquist from Pittsburgh, Ekholm, Arvidsson, and Forsberg from the Predators. And they were good to start with. Gaudreau swings out a rink wide. A quick shot there by Atkinson, stopped by Nilsson.
Oh, Nilsson's been on it. That's a great pass from Gaudreau.
Here he comes again. Johnny Gaudreau slithers back in the corner. Puts it back towards the goal. Atkinson just missed on that. U.S. just trying to plant a seed of doubt here somehow. And they're going in the third period. Martinez has a look and wrist that towards the goal. It goes wide. Pionk holds it. And Arvidsson banks it back out. Gaudreau drops it back to Atkinson. A centering pass tipped right on by White. And the save made again by Nilsson in tight.
3 grade A scoring chances.
Now Forsberg around Hughes. Kincaid down. Forsberg holds. Centers it. It goes off the leg of Ekholm and wide. And DeBrincat's pass just missed Hughes there. Now read by DeBrincat for Kane. Drops it off to Ryan. That puck pinballs around in front to Hughes. Quinn Hughes plays it back across. Ryan shoots. Goes off a stick and high. Knocked down by DeBrincat. Across to Ryan. Derek Ryan. Down to DeBrincat. And Johan Larsson plays it across to Everberg. It's a 5-on-5 shift for Dennis Everberg.
Well, up 4. They can use their full bench.
Well, they have 14 skaters dressed and 6D, so.
If you can have 50 guys dressed, I mean, you know, if the coach only wants to play 9 forwards, it's just crowded on the bench. This way he can use everybody. You're up 4, and maybe you save some energy for what is likely the gold medal game tomorrow.
We haven't seen Elias Anderson yet, who is dressed for the Swedes, but it hasn't yet had a shift. Kreider works in, try to center it. Couldn't find Lee with that pass, and Janmark knocks it down. Butcher winds his way in, shovels that across, couldn't hit Lee with that pass, and Raquel has it back for Lindholm. Lindholm got flattened there by Lee, and the lead pass goes to Janmark. Bumped by Butcher, and Janmark back with it. Butcher across to McAvoy. Ekholm knocks that down. Klingberg. Up for Backlund. Picked up by Nyquist. And there's Hornquist back on it. After Hornquist shot goes wide. Five to go. The 5 gone runners. Arvidsson works in.
Oh.
And now a big collision there as Nyquist went into Kincaid, and a penalty coming to Gustav Nyquist. And meantime brought back in. The backhand shot goes high and wide by White. And play is finally called.
Nyquist was trying to go between Kincaid and the net and ended up running right into him. This will be the 5th fifth U.S. power play of the afternoon. So Nyquist's going to go around the back door, and he ends up running right
Sweden
through
number
him.
14, 2 minutes, goal interference.
It's goalie interference, whether you're trying to hit him or not. Nyquist is trying to avoid him, but he runs his shoulder right into his chin. Here's at the other end. Atkinson just can't get to this one. He gets 2 more scoring chances on the shift. This one he feathers through to Colin White, and earlier he got a good chance from Patrick Kane.
So Bonino, Lee, Kane on the power play up front, McAvoy and Atkinson on the back end. Good job by McAvoy to hold the line, flips it across for Atkinson, then skipped away. Lee. They worked on by Adam Larson. Now Ekman Larson feeds it back down the ice. And back is McAvoy to pick it up. Charlie McAvoy, who made his NHL debut last spring in the Stanley Cup playoffs for Boston, a big rookie year for the Bruins. As Kane drops it back. In comes McAvoy. Spreads it back across. Lee chips it for Kane. Kane in, shoots, Nilsson save, and he ekes up the rebound with Anders Nilsson standing right there.
When Lee gets on top of the crease, it's a big man with good hands. He's got an opportunity to fish around for loose pucks, and it's critical that Anders Nilsson holds onto it. Kane's going to shoot through the Lee screen, and eventually the puck gets to the net. Nilsson able to stop it.
Off the face-off win, fired down the ice by Ekholm. We talk about Arvidsson having a good deal in Nashville. How about the fact that they've got Ryan Ellis, Matthias Ekholm, and Roman Josi for a combined $9.5 million.
What does Ellis have, a year left?
2, I think.
2. Pretty good defense. And a nice, tidy sum.
Butcher winds, waits, comes in and shoots. Nilsson save. Ekholm clears the rebound back at the point. Here's Butcher. Across to Gaudreau. That pass picked off. Delarose has it back. And Jakob Delarose flips that down to the American zone. Delarose back on it. It's funny how some guys from the NHL just fit with their national team, isn't it?
Delarose, see, if I'm the Montreal Canadiens, I'm watching what Delarose does here, and that's what I want him to do in Montreal. I don't want to expand his role. He's most comfortable as a third-line center, a checker. He's a strong skater. Don't worry about the offense. You'll get some in time from him, but it almost seems like he's a round peg in a square hole there.
Now Connor Murphy shoots. Nilsson makes the stop. Rebound fired wide by Larkin. 2 shots for the Americans, and that power play remains 4-0 in favor of Sweden. Nyquist banks it back to the American zone. And Martinez swings back to pick it up. And now the play called offside as Colin White was a half step ahead. You're watching the 2018 World Hockey Championship from Copenhagen. Ball 22 to go here in the third period. And the Swedes with a 4-0 lead. Back at center ice, Janmark tries to chip it ahead. White plays it back to Martinez. Up ahead to Colin White. Drops for Martinez, back to White. Swings it rink wide. Murphy a long shot, that goes wide. Nilsson way out of the net there.
It's funny if you just are poking in your head to turn the TV on and you see the game's 4-0, you'd think it's been a dominant Swedish performance. It just hasn't been. The U.S. has spent way more time in the Swedish end. They've had the better quality chances. The game just came undone in 3 minutes for them.
Shots are 28-16 in favor of the United States. It was 16-8 in the first. U.S. had power play chances, good scoring chances early, and nothing to show for it.
It's in the first period. Anders Nilsson made a couple of great stops, including that one on Goodrow. He also got lucky a little bit, helped by John Klingberg as this puck slides through his feet. But he's been sharp too. Stops Colin White on a third period deflection. It's been a little bit of everything from Anders Nilsson, but the key number is they got a goose egg beside the U.S. flag on the board. He's done his job.
Played very well in Sweden's win over Russia, allowed 1 goal on 31 shots in that one. Another game where the Russians probably felt they deserved a better fate. But sometimes in hockey, deserve's got nothing to do with it.
Nope. We weren't very good today. We won. Everybody forgets that you weren't very good because you won. You play poorly or you play great and lose, and you talk about it for a long time.
Lindholm works free. Slides it across to Nyquist. Long lead pass from Hughes for Atkinson. Cam Atkinson is there for Gaudreau. Takes down Lindholm. And now Hampus Lindholm back with it. Up for Arvidsson. A lot of people in the Eastern time zone don't see a lot of Hampus Lindholm and Rickard Rakell. They're terrific young players.
Lindholm plays every situation for Anaheim. Power play and PK matches up against top lines as well, about 23 minutes a night. Rakell is their best offensive player. He is developed into just an outstanding player. The 30th pick of his draft. Rakell was drafted in 2011.
That shot deflects wide. Lee centers it, bouncing puck. Kreider trying to pick it free. Now Larkin comes in. That goes off a couple of legs and wide. And Ekholm swings it back to center. Larkin moves in. Arvidsson had lost his stick. Kreider swings that towards the goal. Batted down by Zibanejad. He collides with Lee. And the Sverige chant goes up. As the many gold-clad fans here in Copenhagen can sense a berth in the final.
Chris Kreider had a wide open net in the second period and he chipped it wide. Here he's banging away in front of the net. He gets to this puck off the Lee centering pass. And it's the second shot that bounces off the blocker and Nilsson up in the air and slides harmlessly to the right of the Swedish goal.
And now the American net is empty with 9:12 to go. Kincaid has gone to the bench as McAvoy fires that wide. 6 skaters on 5 for Team USA. Zibanejad looks around for Arvidsson. Guess who? Victor Arvidsson scores!
And Arvidsson and Forsberg, as soon as the puck turns over, one of them is racing out of the zone. They've been doing it all afternoon. This time the puck goes to the left of the Swedish goal and Arvidsson's on his horse and getting out of the zone. He's got his second one tonight. Around the boards, he wins the race, and of course with the net empty, he puts it bullseye into the middle. And the Swedes 9 minutes away from a gold medal appearance.
Trying to win back-to-back gold for them for the first time since 91 and 92. Swedes have won 2 gold medals the last 5 years of the World Championship. On home ice in 2013 in Stockholm. And again, last year, that shootout win against Canada in Cologne, Germany. Benino for Hughes. And tomorrow at the IIHF Hall of Fame ceremony, one of their all-time greats, Daniel Alfredsson, will be inducted. Remember that golden Swedish generation that won Olympic gold in Torino in 2006.
What a final game that was. You know, we talk about the way the games change on a little play. Opening face-off of the third period, 3-on-3 hockey. And at the face-off, Koivu breaks his stick.
Nick Lidstrom.
And Nick Lidstrom shoots a one-timer into the net. That was it. What a tough way to lose when you look back at it all these years later.
What a Swedish team. Sundin, Forsberg, Lidstrom, Henrik Lundqvist. And last year, Lundqvist and the Rangers got knocked out. And Lundqvist made some calls, and I'm going over. Who's coming with me? Nick Backstrom said yes. A host of others. The Swedes have a good team this year again. And a chance to win another gold medal. And for Team USA, they won their first 6 games in the tournament. Beaten by the Finns the last game of the round robin. So for the second straight year, they go 6-1 through the opening round. And they won't get to the gold medal game. They haven't since this tournament went to a playoff format in 1992.
And this team felt different, didn't it? Like this felt like a team that could get all the way through there. Now, you know, Canada draws somewhat fortunately, I would say, the Swiss in the semifinal, although the Swiss could very easily shut the game down and sting Canada. But Canada would look at this and say that's a favorable matchup in the semis. The U.S. rolls their way through. Oh, great, you got the Swedes sitting here. They're an excellent team. This will be a bitter one for them to swallow. You come all this way, you're here all this time, and you fall apart in 3 minutes, and the game's gone.
Maybe the fact that Patrick Kane came, though, and had a great tournament in future years will inspire more, especially young Americans, to come. As the Brinket works in, centers for Kane, that goes off his skate and wide. And he flips it back in front, swatted away by Nilsson.
Well, I believe that's job one for USA Hockey as they talk about this tournament is when they get those kids into the development program in Plymouth, Michigan, they need to understand that part of the payback to USA Hockey for their development, for what they do for them, is that you play at the World Championships at least a couple of times. They have to call way too many players way too often to field this team. They put a good team together this year.
Swatted down by Nilsson. Here's Coleman with it. And you look at Swedish hockey development, Ray, and all the great players they have in the NHL. One of the things that helps fund it in Sweden, good performances here. It's $1 million basically to win this tournament. Brought back, Nick Jensen shoots, Nilsson save, rebound. Oh, what a stop there. Now another chance. Pionk fires right into the crowd, and Nilsson's got that. 5-0 Sweden leads, 5:54 to go in the third. It's been a one-sided game on the scoreboard. 5-0 Sweden with the lead. And so Team USA, barring something remarkable, will have to regroup and get ready for a quarter or a bronze medal game matchup tomorrow against either Switzerland or Canada. Coleman slides his way ahead. You mentioned, Ray, 9 players on this American team are from their national team development program.
There's a lot of younger players that aren't here. Some have injury concerns, some just said no. And I don't think it should be that way. You don't have to come every year. But I do think there is some payback for the way that program is put together that helps these kids become top prospects, top draft choices, first-round picks.
Sonny Milano gets his first shift of the game out there along with Tage Thompson, who's also played sparingly. Milano spins and shoots. Kreiner a backhand shot. Thompson swatted away by Nilsson.
Okay, I said in the first part of the game that Anders Nilsson is the weak link, and maybe he is for the Swedes. He has been amazing today. He just made a series of saves that are as good as any you'll see. Desperation, scramble around. It's also his day. The puck's hit him. And he's working on a goose egg here with 4.5 left.
Larkin drops it back, lead and shoots, and Nilsson has a quick look back, but he's got that.
I was gonna say he kept it in front of him, but he almost didn't. It went almost behind him here. Lee from about 20 feet. It's underneath his arm, squeeze, he makes the save. Here's the save off of Thompson as he gets the blocker up. And this is just before the break. Look at this, save, save, he's on his back. Oh, another save. I don't know if that's the way you teach the goaltending position, but when you're 6'5", start flailing those limbs around. And Anders Nilsson has had an outstanding day.
Capacity crowd of 12,500 here. DeBrincat shoots. Nilsson makes that stop. Kane back with it, fires. That was blocked by Lindholm, and Kane has it back. Drop back for DeBrincat, that bounced away from him. Kane takes a whack there from Lindholm. Ekman Larsson back with it for Lindholm. Up to Arvidsson. Late pass for DeBrincat. To Butcher. Butcher's long shot punched away by Nilsson. McAvoy bounces it back in front. Here's Kane with it. And Patrick Kane with a point in every game so far, but like all of his other American teammates, nothing to show for this afternoon. 3.5 to go in the third period. Still to come tonight. Canada against Switzerland in the second semifinal game. Swiss stunned Finland in a quarterfinal matchup in Herning. A game a lot like this one, where they erupted for 3 quick goals in the second period to blow it open. Now Backlund back with it, centering pass, score! Tapped home by Adrian Kempe, and it's 6-0.
It's 3 assists for Michael Backlund today. Adrian Kempe gets his second goal of the tournament. Pretty simple play, but it's another U.S. turnover. McAvoy turns it over. Backlund waits for the puck, waits for Kempe to get to the net, and he zips his pass. It hits the stick of Will Butcher, and Kempe gets it on the second try, and it's 6-0.
29th overall pick to LA in 2014. Adrian Kempe has been his first full year in the National Hockey League this season. Scored 16 times for the Kings. A door wide open for Kempe in LA as they try to move to a younger, faster roster.
Oh, he's fast.
And he's young, too.
Yeah, he had a very good first half of the year when Jeff Carter was hurt. Once Carter came back, the role dried up a little bit for him. But a really positive full first year.
Milano Now swings that rink wide, kicked in by Pajärvi. And now Hughes back with it. Magnus Pajärvi scored the short-handed goal for Sweden to make it 2-0 in the second period. An enormous goal at that point. And now Kempe winds his way in. Adrian Kempe works in. Kincaid makes the stop on that. And hangs on with a late poke coming in from Elias Anderson, who gets his first shift of the game. Party time for the Swedes here in Copenhagen. There are cabs outside that only go to Sweden. They won't take you inside Copenhagen. They're only licensed to go to Sweden. And there are so many Swedish fans here. There's a good amount of money to be made doing it. Bouncing puck down to Nilsson. Kreider goes in for it. Just across the harbor from Malmo, Sweden, where we were in 2014 for the World Junior Championship. A Pionk shot goes wide. Alec Martinez tries to throw that back in front. It's hard to remember a team at the World Championship being as deep and strong as this Swedish team is. Now a penalty coming to the corner. They're going to take both Larkin and Kempe. Canada had a pretty good team in 2015 in Prague, headlined by Sidney Crosby.
Well, they went 10-0 there. That was a really good team. Mike Smith in goal. But well, there's a little battle going on from the referee's camera. Kempe and Larkin will go to the box.
Referees are Oliver Gouin of Canada, Roman Goffman of Russia. Of course, no Canadians worked the gold medal game since 2014 because you can't work when your country's playing in it. Bill Larkin's always answered the call for Team USA.
He's one of those guys out of the program that has been asked, and he comes, gets to the events, shows up. And the U.S. should be encouraged by a lot of this tournament, but also know there's another gear for them. They have players that aren't here that could be. But so every country does. I just view it with the U.S. that there's such a pipeline that could be built directly from the program into this.
Hughes swings back for it. And now Ryan. Down to Nick Jensen. Jensen works in a penalty coming out of the Swedes as Ryan drops it back for Milano. In shoots, he fired that wide. Extra skater comes on, it's Kane. Pionk across to Kane. And finally touched by Klingberg. 9.7 seconds remaining in the third period. And Michael Bachmann will go off. A disappointing Olympics for the Swedes. They lost the quarterfinals to Germany in overtime. The Swedes felt that with no NHL players there, they might have had a decent chance to at least win a medal. However, as they've made clear, there were
such a number of players in North America from Sweden. You take off the top, what was it, 85?
Well, 85 in the NHL, another 60 in the American.
You know what? All of a sudden, you're going to have trouble.
Dion moves in and shoots. That's knocked away. And the United States piles up the shots. Hughes at the horn. The save made by Nilsson. He stops 41 for a shutout as Sweden goes to the gold medal game for the second consecutive year with a 6-0 win over the United States. So now Sweden will await the winner of Canada and Switzerland for the gold. The United States will play the loser of that game in the bronze medal game here tomorrow afternoon. We'll get the player of the game presentations, the top 3 players for both teams, and then the Swedish anthem in front of this delirious crowd in Copenhagen, which has been annexed by Sweden for the last couple of weeks.
A 1-0 lead in the first period on Victor Arvidsson's goal. 16 saves from Nilsson was the key in that first period, but the game broke open. 3 minutes and the second period yielded 3 Swedish goals, and they cruised to a 6-0 win.
Sweden took the lead on a first period goal by Victor Arvidsson, and then 3 goals in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And time now for the player of the game presentation.
The prizes will be presented by Chief Marketing Officer at the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The best player from Team USA, player number 88, Patrick Kane.
Leads the tournament in points. Had a great World Championship for Team USA. Has a game to play tomorrow.
He's done everything that they could have hoped he would be able to do when he came over.
And the fans chanting Nilsson here. Give the people what they want. Anders Nilsson, the 28-year-old, a 41-save shutout. They were outshot 16-8 in the first period. He was terrific. And now the top 3 players of the tournament for each team.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the award of the 3 best players of each team in the tournament will be presented by Cruiserweight's official sponsor of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The 3 best players award are selected by each team and will be presented by Todd, Chief Operating Officer of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The 3 best players for Team USA. Player number 88, Patrick Kane. Player number 1, Keith Kincaid. And player number 89, Cam Atkinson.
Kane, Atkinson, Kincaid. The top 3 players for Team USA. Kane with 8 goals, Atkinson 7.
No quibbles here for me. Kincaid had an outstanding tournament, and today didn't go well, but the 3 of them had terrific tournaments for the United States.
Larson.
Number 11, Mikael Backlund. And number 23, Oliver Ekman Larsson.
I don't know if these guys don't want to go up and get their gift here, but
Larsson, Backlund, and Ekman Larsson are the top 3 players for Sweden. Adam Larsson has led them in minutes played per game in the tournament. Ekman Larsson terrific on the back end.
there's two of those top 4 defensemen on their team, this powerhouse blue line. Back to the gold medal game again.
And now the Swedish national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Sweden. Congratulations, Team Sweden, go up in the final. Get your official merchandise today, and don't forget to visit the IIHF merchandise tent in the fan zone. We kindly ask you to remember all your belongings when you leave the arena and look forward to welcoming you again.
High-scoring affair for Team Sweden. What was working out well for the team here tonight?
Yeah, I think we scored on the opportunities that they give us. It was a tight game. It was not a 6-0 win from our side, but we take the goals.
You feel like this was the best game Sweden's put on ice so far?
I don't know. I think at times we played really well, and our PK saved us there on the long kill there in 4 minutes, and then we actually get a goal, and then we get a power play goal right after. So that killed all their momentum.
A chance to defend goal tomorrow. What would it mean to be able to do so?
No, it means a lot. That's why we're here. We're here for winning, and tomorrow's going to be a great game, and you make sure you enjoy it too.
Right, good luck.
Thank you.
Patrick, you outshoot a team by twice as much as they've shots that they got on your net. You left scratching your head a little bit here?
Yeah, I don't know if we really got outplayed today. Just made too many mistakes, and they have a lot of good players over there, and they made us pay when we made those mistakes. So when that happens, the score ends up the way it did.
Not much time to regroup here. Still a medal to play for. How do you shake this one and move forward?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we came here to win gold, so right now it stings a little bit. We'll have to regroup.
Good luck.
Thank you.